We thought it was going to be the trip of a lifetime. 6 of us, best friends since high school, 3 guys, 3 girls, booked a luxury cruise to nowhere in particular, just the open sea, luxury, and endless fun. The boat was impressive, gleaming under the Caribbean sun as we boarded, our laughter mingling with the salty breeze. The first night was perfect, with the stars out in full force, the boat a floating city of lights and laughter. But by the second day, the weather took a turn. The sky darkened, and the sea grew choppy. We, being young and reckless, found it thrilling at first, toasting to our adventurous spirit as the boat rocked. Then, without warning, chaos erupted. A rogue wave, colossal and unforgiving, smashed into the side of the ship. The impact was like an earthquake, sending us sprawling. Alarms blared, and the captain's voice crackled over the loudspeaker. "Abandon ship! This is not a drill!" We scrambled, following the crew's directions, our hearts pounding with the adrenaline of survival. Lifeboats were launched, but ours didn't make it out in time. The ship tilted violently, and we were thrown into the icy waters, clinging to debris, our laughter now a distant memory. There we were, floating in the darkness, the ship's lights fading beneath the waves. We held on to each other, our breaths coming in ragged gasps, the cold water numbing our limbs. The night was silent except for our whispers and the occasional scream from somewhere out in the void. That's when we heard it, a soft, almost melodic gurgling, like water chuckling to itself. We thought it was just the sea playing tricks on our terrified minds, but then one by one we started to disappear. It began with Sarah. She was right next to me, her hand in mine. Then suddenly her grip loosened. I turned to see nothing but water where she had been. We called out, our voices echoing over the vast darkness. Panic set in, our group tightening, each of us paranoid. Next was Tom. He screamed, a sound of pure terror, before being yanked under, the water barely rippling. We screamed for help, but there was no one to hear us. The realization dawned that we weren't alone in the water. Something was with us, taking us one by one. The fear was palpable, a living entity among us. We tried to stay together, but the thing, whatever it was cunning, silent. It knew how to isolate us. Emily went next, her last sound a choked gasp as she was pulled beneath. The water seemed to laugh, a cruel, gurgling chuckle that made my blood run colder than the sea around us. We were down to 3 now, me, Ben, and Lisa. We huddled, our voices hoarse from shouting, our bodies numb. Ben's eyes met mine, filled with a desperate plea. "We have to swim. Find something. Anything." But before we could move, Lisa's body went rigid. Her eyes widened in horror, fixed on something behind me. I turned, but there was nothing but darkness. When I looked back, she was gone, her life jacket floating empty. Ben and I were alone now, the silence between us deafening. "We have to keep moving," he whispered, his voice trembling. We kicked, trying to put distance between us and whatever was stalking us. But the inevitable happened. A shadow passed under us, swift and silent. Ben's hand slipped from mine as he was pulled down, his face a mask of shock and betrayal by the sea. Now I float alone, the night stretching endlessly. The water whispers, a symphony of death. I know I'm next, but I keep kicking, praying for dawn, for a rescue that might never come. The ocean, vast and merciless, awaits, and with it, the unknown horror lurking just beneath the surface.